What would PVZ2 look like after translating it on Google 500 times? In this video, Sir Jin and I will Google translating plants from PVZ2 500 times, then creating the results we get. After Google translating it, I will show you the process with how we edit each plant. Then adding the design and the gameplay with unique challenges for each plant. I would also honestly rate it from 1 to 10. Watch till the end cause the lawn will be in chaos. Starting with a pea shooter, I googled translate 500 times and I got a pea boy. I really didn't have any idea about the pea boy, so I decided to search it off and found this. Look how round this one is. We'll be creating this on the tiny body of a pea shooter. To start off, I added the reference I have earlier, then proceeded to add the accessories in the pea shooter. After that, I removed the leaf so it wouldn't look weird. For the body, I copied the body from the reference, then added it to the pea shooter's body. I adjusted it to the right proportions. He kind of looks funny with that body. To finish it off, I draw to fill the gaps in the neck. And there you have it, pea boy. Let's now see how it would look like in the game. It still looks like a pea shooter with pan accessories, but I was shocked that the body isn't included here. I was a bit disappointed with how it turned out because I thought the body would look really cute, but maybe it was too huge for the own body of pea shooter. And if you really look closely, you will kind of see that the body we made earlier was there. Just a small and compressed one. For its skills, it really didn't change much since we didn't touch nor edit the attacks. I'm wondering if 100 pea boy can take down 50 gargantua. Let's see how this challenge would go. The peas look like a machine gun. It looks fun how this turned out. Anyways, I rate it 7 out of 10. I was kind of expecting the body, but maybe you can only add things within the original pea shooter's body. But I really like the pan on top of him. And looking at its body, I notice how the arms are kind of looking funny, especially with how small it was. The attack was still the same as the original, so it is not that special. Moving on, I googled translate sunflower 500 times and I got cute flower. The first thing that popped into my mind was the PVZ kindergarten mod, because that mod has a lot of cute plants, so I searched for a sunflower kindergarten edition. And found this. I searched for a clearer image of this one so our reference wouldn't look blurry. After that, I start to change the sunflower using the reference we have earlier. And we have this cute flower. Let's see how this one would turn out in the game. I love the look on this one. He really looks like a drawing based from its color and thick outline. Look at that face, it's so adorable and looks happy to be there. Anyways, this cute flower was much smaller than the original sunflower. And do you see how good the glows are when producing sun? I also notice how the smile kind of have effect. It really looks cute. A moment of appreciation of this adorable lawn full of cute flower. They're so cute, I want to squish them. Overall, I rate it 9 out of 10. I love the look on this one. The details on this one really looks like a drawing because of its outline and color combinations. For our third plant is jalapeno. I Google translate it just like the other plants. Then I got bananini. Yes, bananini. How can I turn this jalapeno into a bananini? I searched for bananini for ideas, then saw chimpanzini bananini photos.
Chimpanzini bananini.
So I take the opportunity to make jalapeno a brain rot. I did a little scroll, then found this. This would look perfect for jalapeno. Moving on, I changed jalapeno into bananini. I just fit the image of.
Chimpanzini bananini.
2 jalapeno body. And that's it. I will just leave it, and let's see it in the game.
Chimpanzini bananini.
I really love how it actually looks like. It's so small, and I love the side eyes. You can't actually see the details much, since it would eventually explode when enemies are nearby. I noticed the details on this one when exploding. The face or any details didn't change much, but it glows a little bit and gets bigger, just like the original jalapeno. Let's test a challenge on how many bananini can take down 50 giga gargantua.
Chimpanzini bananini. Chimpanzini bananini.
How many bananini do you think? If your answer is 4, then you're correct. This bananini was too powerful for its size.
Chimpanzini bananini.
Overall, I rate it 8 out of 10. I love the look on this one, and how small it is. Of course, a plus point because he is a brain rot. And can we talk about its effects before exploding? It's really good. However, the design is not unique, and just copy and paste since the structure of this one matches with the jalapeno. For our next plant is walnut. I Google translated 500 times and I got papa. What does papa even mean? I searched for ideas, then after scrolling a little bit, I found this. Yes, I will be changing walnut into this. Anyways, I saved this image for my reference later. Then, I started to edit the plant. My idea was to only include the head for the whole walnut. I adjusted the head so it would perfectly fit in the body. It wouldn't be papa if we won't include the baby, so I also added that. After that, I cleaned off the sides and we have this papa. Imagine eating a piece of face. Before proceeding with the game, I also edited how it would look like when being eaten. I was thinking to change the facial expression while being eaten, just like the walnut. After that, I also edited another facial expression after being half-eaten. This one was much sadder than the other one. I mean, who wouldn't look sad after the face being eaten? Let's now see how this would look like in the game. It's actually funny how he looks. He's much brighter than the sun. I love how you can still see the face of the baby, even though it was kinda small. His face was so huge, imagine being blocked by a bright big face. Anyways, you would notice its reaction after reducing some health. I love the sad look of this one. It's quite funny because he looks so worried. And for another reaction, he kind of grows a bit taller but has a missing part on its head. This face card can surely protect plants. I really like how the saturation of the face was included in the gameplay. And can we talk about how the head was perfect for the shape of walnut? We love a protective papa from its plants. Let's test a challenge on this one. 100 imps versus 9 papa. It's kind of funny how he was eaten so easily by someone close to its height. Because of how fast things happen, you can't really see the reaction of walnut. If you're wondering how he would look in rolling walnut gameplay, let's also test that challenge. I love how you can easily see him roll because of its color, and it's kind of weird seeing a rolling face in this game. Overall, I rate it 10 out of 10. I love how accurate the changes we did earlier, that it included everything. It's like what you see is what you get. Although you can't really see the face clearly because of how high the saturation is, it still looks good and kind of funny. Then I kind of love the idea of the baby on the side. He looks like an accessory. For our 5th plant is cherry bomb. I Google translated 500 times, then I got numbers. I'm really confused on how I would make these 2 cherries into numbers. My idea on this one was so I searched some references for the hands. I started to carefully outline the hands, then fill it using white. After that, I added some simple shadow around it and changed the outline into a different color. And of course, we can't complete without number 6, 7, so I also added that. I made the numbers red to match with the cherries and added their eyes on the numbers. And we now have this. Let's now see how it would look in the game. You can see the movements of this one. It really imitates the hand movements for 67 meme. I love its look inside the game, although you can't really see the details that much since it's small and explodes easily. The eyes of the cherries aren't really noticeable, and the outline was a bit thick compared to the hands. I also noticed the hands were a bit smaller than the edit we did earlier, and aren't accurate when holding the number. But overall, I love the idea of this one. Let's also do some challenges for this one. How many numbers bomb do you think can take 100 gargantua? This plant was the real definition of small but terrible. Overall, I rate this 9 out of 10. The idea was executed perfectly, but it was adjusted after adding it to the game. Like, the hands got a bit smaller compared to the edit we have earlier, but it wasn't really that noticeable. And the first thing you would notice was the outline of the numbers. It's a bit thick, but it doesn't look too bad. I love the sparks on top of the numbers. Aside from the memes, this number also looks like a candle because of the sparks on top. Moving on to sunshroom, I Google translated 500 times and I got an orange. I was quite confused on how I would turn this mushroom into an orange. While thinking, crossed my mind.
Udin din 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 dun, ma din 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 dun.
So I searched that in Google for reference, I decide to use citrus from PVZ2 for the orange head, since he would be perfect for. After I save it, I proceed to apply it into our plant. Then of course remove the face, never seen a faceless citrus. It's kind of weird that sunshroom has a random orange on top of him, so we copied its face, then added on the orange, then adjusted the eyes. For the mouth, I changed the color to match the orange. Next, I searched for some references for the arms, since it wouldn't be without its strong arms. While looking, I found this perfect, big, juicy, strong arms, and later added that in our plant. After that, I proceed to search my references for the strong legs. Then I came across this one. This kind of fits with our strong arms, so I edited its legs to add in our plant. And there we have it, our first plant, orange. Not gonna lie, he kind of looks cute because of his innocent face. He's smiling like he ain't got that big muscles. I love how the legs are really tiny. And talking about his orange body, it is much larger than the legs and arms, no wonder his muscles were that big. Zombies would probably back down when they see that thing on the lawn. Talking about zombies, I'm thrilled how he would look like in the game. Okay, I didn't expect him to be that tiny. It's really funny how he looks so huge at the same time, looks so small. That muscle was smaller than the zombie's arm. I also notice how funny the animation is. He looks like he's doing squats. After growing, he actually gets a lot bigger. I love the look of this one, especially its animation. He seems to be flexing his muscles. And when it produces sun, the upper body is the only thing that glows. And I love how the legs extend, as if reaching something. I'm wondering what the lawn looks like when it's filled with these cuties. They look really cute when they're small. They are like buffed babies. I love how the animation looks really good with its design. After they grow up, they kind of look like they're dancing in a rhythm. Overall, I rate it 10 out of 10. I like how I incorporate my ideas in this plants, especially the placement of the other parts. He really looks adorable because of his round and smiling face. But it looks funny with the animation. For our next plant is fume shroom. I Google translated 500 times, and I got, I'm hungry. I didn't have any idea what I'm hungry would look like, so I searched it on Google and got this. This Kirby picture captured my eyes, so we'll do this one. I got this Kirby picture as a reference for our plant. Then I started to add my ideas in our plant. I used the pink body from Kirby to change the head, then added Kirby's face on top. And I also included the arms. For the feet, I decided to add that in the lower body of the fume shroom, and adjusted it. And there you have it. Fume shroom turned into I'm hungry. This one actually turned out pretty good. I love the Kirby idea for I'm hungry and how I made the pieces look good. Although you might notice that he looks floating, but think of it like his power. Anyways, I really find him cute. Because of the placement of his arms and legs, he looks like he's reaching for a hug from the zombies. Let's see if he would still look this cute in the game. He looks really round in this one. Also, I love how the pinkness stands out, knowing that this plant is for the nighttime. I noticed that the floating isn't really noticeable when inside the game. Maybe because of the shadow. Anyways, did you see how cute that animation is? It made him much cuter because he looked like he was a bouncing ball. And for the attack, he kind of looks cute because the movement of the body looks like he was actually blowing the bubbles. But I think he would look much cuter if the face actually changes when blowing the bubbles. Anyways, the purple bubbles doesn't really fit with the Kirby look, so I decided to change it into air attack. And honestly, the air attack was so much better because it looks great and fits with our character. He looks really cute when blowing air for the zombies. Here's a short gameplay for the orange and I'm hungry plants. Kirby plant was really cute, while the other was kind of funny. Imagine protecting someone who has bigger muscles than you. Now let's see a full lawn of Kirby versus 50 tall nut zombotany. Who do you think would win this challenge? Tall nut zombotany looks funny. They look mad at a lawn full of Kirbys. Sadly, tall nut zombotany won this challenge. Overall, I rate this one 10 out of 10. I love the idea of this plant, although he doesn't really look like I'm hungry. But the cuteness totally captured my heart. Especially that the pink glows with the gloomy and foggy lawn. Also, good thing that I changed the attack into air because it looks so much better than the purple bubbles. Our 8th plant is puff shroom. I googled it 500 times and I got freeze it. I searched it on Google to look for ideas. While looking, I came across this one and think that this will look perfect for the freeze it idea. I mean, the word was already there, it's already a sign. Anyways, I started to change our plant into Elsa. I cropped the hair and added it into our puff shroom. And we can't forget to add the iconic blue eyes from Elsa. I replaced the eyes using Elsa's eyes, then removed the excess, so it wouldn't look overlapping. I changed the head color into blue, so there will be a touch of blue in our plant, and decided to also make the body blue. For extra accessories, I added Ice Shroom from PVZ2 and used his ice crystal below to add in our plant. And there we have it. Puff Shroom turned into Freeze It. Does she look frozen enough? Anyways, I think it's really cool that the concept of this Freeze It was Elsa. But the head part looked like a big forehead, which is kind of weird because the forehead was even bigger than the body. However, I love how the hair really fits the ratio of the head, and how tiny the braid is. Talking about the braid, it kind of reminds me some cute little kids' hair. Anyways, did you notice how cute that eyes is? It's giving Bratz doll look, but the purple eyeshadow didn't really fit with our blue palette. I also noticed how the hair has an ear. The skin tone ear was really random and weird. Knowing that the body was all blue, not gonna lie, the hair looks like a wig from Temu. I love how tiny this one is. She really stands out with that blonde hair. But it looks funny how the hair looked like it was just placed on top. What's with the high hairline? Anyways, you can still see the eyelashes of this plant. Even though she was tiny, love that for her. But you can't really see the eyeshadow, but that's okay since she still looks great. When it comes to the ice crystal on the bottom, it does not look like ice crystal anymore. Instead, it looks like clothes, a skirt maybe. I also like how the mouth complements the eyes. She looks like a diva pouting her lips. Let's test a challenge on this tiny Elsa. Who would win with the 50 Gargantuar versus single Elsa? I love how she just one-hit those zombies. And of course, single Elsa would win. I mean, it's Elsa after all. Just a nerfed one. Overall, I rate this one 9 out of 10. I really like the concept, but it turned out a bit weird. This plant looks like she's cosplaying Elsa. However, I love the small details like the eyes, but the big forehead really didn't look good. Anyways, she really looks cute on this one, considering how tiny she is. Next plant is Hypno Shroom. I Google translated 500 times, and I got nuggets. I'm excited what kind of nuggets Hypno Shroom would turn out. I search for literal nuggets in Google, and choose this one. I started to edit Hypno Shroom using our reference. It's kind of funny how zombies would literally eat a nugget inside the game. After I turned the body into nuggets, I think legs would look great with this one. Then, let's give it some life by adding face. I think this Roblox face would look great without Nugget's body. I proceed by adding that in our plant. And I completed it by adding a cowboy hat and adjusted it to look good. Would this Nugget's a plant-based meat? And there we have it, a nugget. I really love how this one turned out. He looks so funny with that face, especially knowing that he doesn't have any hair. The body shape also reminds me of Among Us. That cowboy hat really fits his face. He looks like he was ready to capture every zombie in the lawn. I'm excited about what he looks like in the game. He looks really goofy with that animation. It's funny how long that Nuggets is. I love that little legs. He was standing really firm on this one. Did you also notice the white effect on top of him? It actually looks like a steam from the nuggets. I love how the zombies would eat the nuggets. They probably remember they are human before or after eating nuggets. Before we proceed to the challenge, here's a short clip for the recent plants we did. The Kirby one was really cute, while the orange plant looked so funny. Anyways, here's a challenge of 5 Papa Zombutini versus 5 Papa Zombutini. Who do you think would win in this fight? I didn't expect the other Papa Zombutini would win, but at least the zombie ate a juicy chicken nuggets before dying. Overall, I rate this one 10 out of 10. The idea turned out pretty good and really funny. I also love how tiny he was, knowingly that he's a chicken nuggets after all. And I love how the chicken nuggets have a tiny legs. He reminds me of that one pet from Among Us. For the 10th plant is magnet shroom. I Google Translate it 500 times, and I got give you a bar of chocolate. Now, what is that word? How can I make it into a plant? After minutes of brainstorming, I came up with an idea of Mr. Beast, since he had a chocolate bar. After editing the reference, I started to edit the plant. I used Mr. Beast head to replace the magnet head. We should also include the chocolate, so I added this chocolate drink for the body, then also added this feastable bar to add in the purple part of magnet shroom. I finish it off by cleaning the parts, and there we have it, a Mr. Beast chocolate plant. He kinda looks. Okay, to be honest, it's actually funny how it's just a random stack of things with a head on top. The Feastable wasn't even on top of the chocolate milk properly, which makes it more funnier. Anyways, I like how this one turned out pretty weird. I wonder how this one would look like in the game. This is really small, I mean the body isn't really that noticeable. But the floating head really caught my attention. It's funny that the head was floating and looking up at the same time. However, I love the bottle body, it's really small. To the point you can see the details written on it. I also noticed the lightning color on top fits the colors in the plant. And did you see how the head glows when attacking? It's really funny and cool that the head was the one thing that glows. Now let's see the lawn full of Mr. Beast chocolate plant. It's funny how the head turned back and was really glowing, but the glowing effect really fits with the face. Overall, I rate it 8 out of 10. While looking at this plant, it actually looks like this one. It's really funny how the head was floating with a chocolate bar. It kind of looks like Aladdin's carpet with head on top. Anyways, you really can't see the details of chocolate that much because how tiny it is, but I love the idea and how I put it out together. Moving on to bonk choy, I Google Translate it 500 times, and I got speed. I already have an idea how I can turn this bonk choy into speed, so I searched speed in Chrome to find some reference and pics to put in our plant. After that, I started to edit. I decided to use the whole face as the body of bonk choy. It was kind of funny that the plant has a whole face in it. Anyways, I decided to replace the arm of bonk choy with this. I made this one a bit smaller since the other arm was smaller. I noticed that the arm was a bit darker than the head, so I adjusted the colors to match. And I finished it off by adjusting the arm in the right angle. I like how the hair resembles the lettuce hair of bonk choy. And there we have it, bonk choy turned into speed. It looks a bit awkward and weird since the plant has a whole face with small arms on it. It's funny how the arms were bigger than the other one. It looks like it was overdone in the gym. Anyways, he doesn't look bonk choy anymore, more like a funny sticker. I'm really excited how he would look in the game. I can't imagine how this thing would knock zombies out. He looks really funny. I like how the arms extend, putting all those muscles into work. But the face was so flat, speed looks like a paper. And did you notice how he was happy punching those zombies? I just noticed that the muscles in the arms was gone. It looked like a stick with hands on top. But when the arms extends, it kind of looks big and has muscles on it. And the animation fits the whole look. He looks like he was asking for a fight. When given plant food, the face kind of duplicated itself and has that funny but aggressive look. And it's funny how the fist was throwing everywhere. It's like Speed having a tantrum. Also, I noticed how the arms have that almost white outline. He looks like he has a light underneath him, or maybe a shine from his white smile. Overall, I rate this one a 9 out of 10. I really like that I turned this plant into Speed, and based on the look, you wouldn't actually guess that it was bonk choy. But I was a bit sad that the muscles were removed in the game, since it would look really cool, but it's funny how the fist was a bit bent. It looks like it was just placed on top. And the hair was boxed on the side, it looked like it was cropped. Too bad, because the hair can actually act up as the lettuce hair of bonk choy. For our 12th plant is iceberg lettuce. Let's translate iceberg lettuce 500 times, and I got yes sir. So I searched yes sir on Google and saw this image of the penguin from Madagascar. So I used this image as a reference. I cropped his feet and placed them under iceberg lettuce to make it look like his feet. Then I also cropped his face to replace iceberg lettuce's body and face. After that, I removed his arms because they were too huge. Therefore, I drew new arms to replace them. After that, I also made his body round to make it look like a penguin, a short penguin. Then we have Yes Sir. As you can see in the game, there is no animation, but he looks so cute because he is so small. There's a bug in the animation. As you can see, he becomes a little bit bigger, then goes back to normal in just a millisecond. But it is working properly. Let's try his plant food ability. It's working properly and the animation is perfectly fine. Let's see a full lawn of this Yes Sir penguin. They are so adorable, but I think this one would be better if there was an idle animation. Overall, I would rate this one an 8 out of 10. It would be higher if there was animation. However, his look is so adorable, there are no errors in the sprites, and the ability is working properly. Moving on, our next plant is lightning reed. I Google translated it 500 times and we got wooden bat. There's a brain rot that has a bat, so I made lightning reed as tung 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 sahur. I got the image of tung 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 sahur from the internet. My idea was to make it similar to tung 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 sahur, so I took his eye and replaced the eye of lightning reed, and also the eyebrow. I made sure to put it properly to avoid some errors. After that, I removed the face of tung 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 sahur to make it the body of lightning reed. Then I added the lower body of tung 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 sahur and adjusted it to the right proportion. Let's see it in the game. Tung 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 sahur is so small. As you can see, I changed the bat position because in the game it looks like a nut. Moving on to his basic attack, his attack is working properly. I like it because the lightning changed color to brown, so it fits tung 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 sahur. But, as you can see, the lightning changes its color when it hits zombies. Anyways, let's see his plant food effect. The cloud looks creepy because it has an eye and is holding a bat. It would be cool if the cloud attacked the zombie by smashing it with the bat. Anyways, his plant food also fits tung 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 sahur. Overall, I would rate this one a solid 9 out of 10. The transformation looks cool and works properly. I thought this one might have many errors, but this is very cool. I really like his attacking animation and the color of the lightning, even though the lightning changes color. For our 14th plant, it is chili bean. I Google translated it 500 times and I got larva. I remembered that there's a larva character that is similar to chili bean. Yes, the red larva. I got his image and put it into my editing software. I started by changing the color of his eye. I changed it to red, made his pupil larger, and added a highlight. Then I removed Chili Bean's long hair and changed the color of Chili Bean. I also removed his eyebrows, then added hair similar to the red larva. After that, I added a nose by just putting a dot. For the last step, I added the yellow line around his body, and we have red larva. The animation is so funny, and it's very similar to the actions of red larva in the series, so that's really cool. I wonder how red larva is going to fart in the game. Let's see it in the game. On his idle animation, it looks normal, so let's see his plant food effect. His plant food effect animation looks funny and looks like in the series when they are farting, but this one is accurate if the yellow larva is in it. Anyways, let's see a full lawn of larvae. They are so cute, I want to squish their faces. Overall, I would rate this one 10 out of 10. This one has no errors, and the animation looks perfect in the game. I personally like that the larva and chili bean match perfectly. Maybe PVZ2 or EA was based on larva when creating this plant. For our last plant, it is endurian. I Google translated it 500 times, and I got primal. So my idea was to make a primal version of endurian. However, Sir Jin already made this one before, so I just got the image of it and replaced the endurian. For those who watch Sir Jin videos, you already know that he drew many plants transforming into their primal forms. Anyways, after I replaced the plant, I proceeded to also replace his armor. I already made an armor form of it, and this is similar to the primal form of walnut. After that, I made the 3 damage form of endurian, and we now have a primal form of endurian. In the almanac, he is so calm and just chillin'. As you can see, he has no animation, just a still image, so it looks off. Anyways, let's see it on the lawn. This plant is unbothered, just chillin'. There's no animation when he is attacking the zombies, just a light, and him changing into his huge form, but he really looks like a primal form of endurian. Moving on, let's see his plant food form. As you can see, there's a small error in his look. There's a floating spike on his side. I fixed it many times, but I failed, so I left it as is. But the stone design is really cool and looks like a primal form, and it's working perfectly fine. Overall, I would rate this one a 7 out of 10. There's an error in the sprites, and there's also no animation on this plant. But his look is really cool, and this plant really looks like it belongs to the primal plants. That is all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.